This is officially the hardest market conditions that we have seen by far this cycle, and maybe even sentiment-wise, the worst market conditions we have seen since FTX, Three Arrows Capital, Terra Luna, etc. So in this video, I'm going to break down what the heck is going on in the market. What is the outlook? Is the bull market over? Have the bears won? Are we in a full-blown bear market? There's a lot of things to talk about, and really just the market psychology right now is so bearish. I'm going to go over why I still see a positive light at the end of the tunnel, but man, this has been the most challenging last 30 days, I would say, in crypto in quite some time. So let's just break everything down in this video and also go over a few of the bright spots. There's only a couple in the market right now, but we'll talk about everything and more. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Before we jump into the meat of the content today, be sure to drop down below, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel for more. We're coming at you multiple times a week with everything you need in the crypto markets to come out on top. I know this time is rough. It's rough for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are in the markets. Everyone is feeling the same pain right now. And also a big shout out to all of our sponsors here on the channel. Today, I want to give a big shout to Blowfin. Blowfin has some of the absolute best sign-up bonuses in the industry, and we actually have some crazy deals for you. Down below in the description, you can get up to $10,000 in USDT rewards just for signing up and trading with Blowfin. And the best part about this, other exchanges out there limit where you are in the world with KYC restrictions. Blowfin, you can trade from anywhere, including the United States. So be sure to check out Blowfin down below in the description. Let's just dive into this market. And I mean, it's rough. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Look at the dailies, the weeklies, and the monthlies. There's literally only like a certain amount of coins and maybe some real bottom of the barrel market cap tokens that have any green pasted over them. And we'll talk about the one winner in the market here in a few minutes, but I mean, it's just crazy what's going on in the markets right now. Amidst everything, right, with the government shutdown and the tariff talks, we're seeing President Trump himself saying he only cares about one thing, that crypto, the US will be #1 in crypto. And he says China is very big into it right now. And I mean, obviously with the government shutdown, we're not getting any progression on ETFs or any, new jurisdictions or capital gains updates. Because I mean, if they lowered capital gains tax, for example, in the US, that would be absolutely tremendous for this industry, etc. And obviously, yeah, with the shutdown going on, we're not going to get any updates as far as any progression on big things that could push up the price or really just move the industry forward. So right now with tariff talks and the shutdown, we're kind of just at a stalemate at this point in the market. And as we see here on 𝗕𝗟𝗅, you can see that the forecast right now for how long the government shutdown will last is 45.9 days. And right now the current shutdown is at 33 days. So we'll see what happens here. I think a reopening would be bullish for crypto because, like I said, some of those laws, maybe new jurisdictions or different types of ETFs will start getting pushed once again. I love this tweet breakdown here from the House of Crypto. They want you to believe it's over. And oh my goodness, if you go on crypto Twitter today, the amount of people saying bull market's done, pack it up, it's a bear market, we've been in a bear market, etc. I don't believe that whatsoever. Bitcoin's up 57% over the last 12 months, and money is flowing into crypto every single day. As you can see here, the USDT market cap is actually growing. This bull market inflows continue. There's no selling off that has taken place since December 2024. Money is rotating back into risk assets shortly. USDT dominance is running into resistance. Lower high means more money flows from USDT to Bitcoin, and it says alts are not a part of this, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. And fear and greed index, Bitcoin near highs, fear and uncertainty widespread while inflows continue. So the amount of money on chain is growing, all the while we're seeing price action like this. So at this point in time, look, it has been a Bitcoin bull run. That is the pure facts about it. There has been some winners over the course of time, right? We've seen Hyperliquid, stuff like Tau absolutely crush it. I would say for the most part over the last 18 months, Solana was a major winner for a lot of people. You could go down the ladder and look at, shorter term trades like Trump, stuff like Aster, for example. There were plenty of opportunities for different types of coins, but for the most part, unfortunately, the majors are just stagnant and or down from 12 months ago, which is crazy to think about because we should be in one of the bullish time periods in the market, but everything going on with the economy, tariffs is just kind of slowing that down. So what can we look forward to? Number one, government reopening. Number two, a little bit of settlement between China and the US. That helped the market tremendously whenever they reached a trade deal for that 90 days previously. Okay. And then looking ahead as well, you can see here, and psychology wise, we have to remember that these are actually the biggest opportunities. It's not the time to run away. Okay. And while I will say this, it has not whatsoever been an altcoin market. Altcoins are absolutely saturated. There's way too many coins in the market for any given coin to just catch liquidity or catch pumps. And outside of a certain few, like, altcoin bags have just been down only. I mean, if we were to look at Bitcoin dominance, if we were to look at the 𝗏𝗏𝘅, the others chart, it's not pretty. There's no doubt about that. I do think money will rotate into alts, but we do need to see Bitcoin make a massive recovery. Remember, as prices come down, your risk reward is actually statistically better and not worse. And as Rand says here, he's been here for 3 cycles. The game is simple. Survive and hold. You get rich. And look, undoubtedly speaking, I've made mistakes in my portfolio over the last 12 months. I've overtraded. I was over allocated into different altcoins. We've trimmed up the portfolio a ton over the last 18 months. And look, although we were able to hit big trades like Trump and like Aster, it's been a rough year for almost every coin in the portfolio except for maybe Hyperliquid, Tau, and a couple others that were just random pops if you were able to take profit. If you're not weighted in Bitcoin, this has been a rough time period. I do think, though, the fear on the timeline, the amount of people saying we're in a bear, I mean, the amount of bearish posts I've not seen literally since 2022. So looking ahead, look, Michael Saylor obviously is still buying. And when I look across the board, we see positivity across certain alts. We see Tau, which is absolutely ripping. For example, this coin, we put 5% of the portfolio in. And if we look at the 1 month chart here, I mean, it really is beautiful to see 52% up in a midst of literally nothing but red, especially for majors. So, this has been something that is carrying the port. And also it goes to show that not everything's going to pump, right? This is in the AI narrative. There was that big AI chip deal today. And then on top of that, we look, BitTensor is being adopted by Grayscale. And they're literally bull posting BitTensor Tau on the Grayscale Twitter account here, which has 670,000 followers. And Grayscale, I don't think they're botting their tweets. I think that those 670,000 are due to their reputation and not fake metrics. Moving on down the ladder with other strong altcoins, we see Xborg. They bought back 700,000 tokens today for $59,000 at 8.5 cents per token. All Q4 revenue will go towards buying back XBG, an estimated $1 to $2 million, which is roughly 10% of the circulating supply. And you can track this here on xbg.xborg.com/buybacks. So, and I think it shows a testament of strength as to them buying back even on a day like this, like dedicating that. They had mentioned they were going to do this, but actually following through at this time period in the market is really crazy conviction. They just scooped up a piece of the supply, but it didn't really move the price because of what we're seeing in the markets. I think this will absolutely catapult to the upside whenever this does turn around. Otherwise, I'm really not buying right now. I have double digits of my portfolio into stable coins. I have my allocations across the board. You guys know what I'm bullish on. I'm not just going to spew and repeat that. And like I said, if it wasn't for 𝗧, man, my altcoins portfolio, if I wasn't weighted in Bitcoin and also in something like 𝗧, which is showing incredible strength, almost at $500. I mean, it's breaking out at this point. The next resistance, or I mean, not even resistance, the next levels, you know, $600, I think would be the next target. And we can realistically break through that pretty quickly, especially if the market shows any signs of being bullish. But let's talk about other opportunities, okay? Opportunities that might not cost you stable coins. You don't need to pull from your bank account to DCA more. Look, I'm not DCAing right now. I've gotten good entries. The market's just very much testing our patience during this time period, and I'm happy to ride out strength bags like 𝗧. Hyperliquid was almost back at $50. It's retraced quite a bit, but I am really just staying put and holding, like what Rand said here. If you survive and hodl, you get rich. I'm not gonna, you know, sit here and I hate that he used the term hodl, because I really hate crypto terminology like that. WAGMI, hodl, all this stuff. I really hate that. So I'm going to say if you survive and hold, you get rich. But let's talk about other opportunities. Number one, we have American football from sport.fun, which is football.fun, one of the most viral apps on Base, especially really 2025. I think this is probably the #1 overall application other than virtuals, which virtuals hasn't really found their footing. I think football.fun is one of the best opportunities in the market right now, because not only did they crush it on the European soccer side, they are coming in with American football. And I hear that the Founders Pack sale is going to be this week. I believe even potentially for whitelisters starting Tuesday or Wednesday. So this is definitely going to be a big opportunity. The market cap for all assets on the soccer side got upwards of $180 million. I would maybe expect a little lower than that when it comes to the American football side, but I do think this is going to be, especially given where the market is, if you can get a Founders Pack, I think that will have great upside for you in the coming weeks. Other than that, I'm really focusing on stuff like prediction markets. We see the prediction market space absolutely crushing. People like 𝗧𝗪, you know, the prediction market, doing $4.4 billion in volume last month. We're going to have another prediction market show this week. I know I got great feedback on the one we did a couple of weeks ago. So we'll have more prediction market content. And I'm going to do a giveaway on this show. So the creators of Star Atlas, one of the longest standing, most successful on-chain games, they are coming out with their own Solana SVM. So this is basically a layer 1 chain built on some of the different layers of Solana. And this is developed by Star Atlas. So their games are going to function and assets are going to run through their new 𝗧𝗏ink SVM chain. So what you're wanting to do here is get in early, right? We want to be able to farm this airdrop. And I've talked to the team. I know a lot of the things that they're going to roll out. I think this is going to be very fruitful for early access, and it's gaming, right? So let's just jump into it. I'm going to give away 5 early access codes, and this is a closed test for their upcoming official airdrop, and this is only available to users with an access code. So I will give out 5 codes. I'll announce the winners on tomorrow's show. If you are interested in this, leave the words 𝗧𝗏ink in your comment down below. Comment your thoughts on the video and then just literally write 𝗧𝗏ink, just like their handle, Z.ink, okay? And then I'll pick 5 winners tomorrow, give you guys early access codes. And I think if you play around with this app and you have an early access code, I think you're almost gonna guarantee yourself a little bit of an airdrop allocation. So hopefully that becomes fruitful. I think it will personally. And on top of that, guys, just hold down the ships. Like it's hard. Like if we're in a battle, if we're in a title fight, we're in the 9th round, we're battered and bruised, but I do think we're going to see a big turnaround if a few macroeconomic events do turn our way. Look, I'm as disappointed as you, okay? Before people would run to the comments, you know, playing the game of, oh, altcoins suck. It's, you know, we hear a lot of it, okay? It's been a very frustrating cycle. And if you think that you're the only one that's suffering through that, we all are, okay? And I honestly think that people like me Rand, other, crypto YouTubers, etc. This is not a fun time in the market. Like, we do not enjoy sitting here watching altcoins just absolutely get the crap beaten out of them. All right. This is just not a time in the market where anyone is in a good mood about anything. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to shift bearish. I'm not going to become someone who says the bull's over. I actually just think we're a little bit extended, because last bull market, 2021, we didn't have a government shutdown. We didn't have a freaking trade war going on. We didn't have all this stuff in the economy happening. We didn't have gold at all-time highs, stock markets ripping to all-time levels. Like, we just have to adjust the targets. That's what I'm doing. And I'm just sitting tight in my portfolio. And I'm just happy that we've cut those positions down, because along with a lot of other friends of mine in the industry, over allocating into altcoins has been absolutely killer over the last probably 8 months, I would say. So, I mean, just adjusting that thesis, making sure you're in strength coins that when the market bounces, you're going to see a nice return on those. Just make sure that your conviction stays. I would not be capitulating at this point in time. So guys, like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with those giveaway winners and more market updates. As always, subscribe, like the video, play well, my friends. Please trade responsibly, and of course, stay bullish, my friends.